Okay, here's how you would find the inverse of any square matrix on a calculator. But first, here's how you do a 2 by 2 by hand. Okay, so remember you multiply A and D together, get negative 11, and then subtract B times C, so that's negative 10, and then multiply that by this matrix, but where you switch A and D, so negative 1 and 11 go there, and then you negate B and C. So you don't switch them, but you change the sign of them. Okay. Now this part down here turns out to be 1 over negative 1, because it's like negative 11 plus 10. And then that just simplifies to negative 1. And then if you distribute that negative 1 into all of these entries, you get this matrix right here. All right, 1, negative 5, 2, and negative 11. Alright, so how would you do that with a calculator? So you're just going to type in the matrix. So we hit this button next to the 9. Look for the 2 by 2. If it's anything other than a 2 by 2, 1 by 2, or 2 by 1, you choose this option and you'll be able to edit the rows and columns. Alright, but that's just a default 2 by 2. So you type in 11, negative 5, 2, and negative 1. And then all you're going to do is raise it to the negative 1 power. There's other ways to do it if you go to menu, matrices, but if you just raise it to the negative 1 power, it'll just find the inverse for you. Alright, and a lot of times this will have fractions or decimals in it because you know the definition of a 2 by 2. You take this matrix, move the entries around, and multiply it by 1 over the determinant. In our case, the determinant was negative 1, so we didn't get any fractions. But don't be surprised if you get decimals or fractions in your inverse. And it would work the same way for a 3 by 3. You would just type in the 3 by 3 matrix and then raise it to the negative 1 power.